Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Xpansion Pack Podcast, where we download this week's gaming news and we bring it straight to you. I'm your host, Danzel, joined by my co host each and every week. Starting to my right hand side, we're going to start with Goop Master Flex. What's going on, bro?
You already know. We doing everything and grouping at the same time. We opening the world to its maximum capabilities.
Okay. Way to be on your Lakeith Stanfield shit
No,
from
it's not.
Atlanta.
Never seen that show, but no, I know.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Stop slacking, yo. Watch that show, man.
I'm trying my best. I'm catching up to Stranger Things now, and then I'll deal with that later.
Damn, yo, my guy's in like a media black hole. He's always like a year behind, maybe
Yes.
two. That's
Hey,
all right though. We'll get you.
I
Caught
mean
up.
it too. Even though I've actually watched Atlanta, so that's bad if I'm ahead of you on that one. I'm always behind on this shit too, every single time.
Dude, I don't know. I just never found interest in it, but maybe one day I'll just get bored.
Well, I mean,
had
if you haven't
interest. I
seen
just had it on
then
my
I guess-
list.
Yeah.
What's that?
My list is just long as hell, and I just have a trouble getting through it. But it's not that I don't got interest, because I be wanting to watch this shit. Mm-hmm.
Atlanta's
Mhm.
It's classic. Definitely got to watch that. For y'all who are listening or watching, if you haven't seen it, go check out Atlanta. It's on Hulu. Anyways, so next we got my guy down low, Mr. 525 himself. May 25th, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing?
I'm good, y'all. I'm good. Ready to talk about some games. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Hey man, well, before we talk about the games, Chris, you know what you got to do, right?
Yeah, we need it because it's hot as hell. It's hot as hell. God damn it. We are up here in the Northeast, and it's burning up every damn day. Jesus. So, yeah, it's time for an icebreaker, y'all. Good old. Ding. Damn, I just hit my mic. Oof. Okay. The question this week is, what is a game that currently exists on a platform that you wish existed on a different platform? So it either could be like exclusive to something, or sometimes you got some games that are like on every platform except for one, or some games are only on mobile for some reason and actually are pretty good, but they aren't available in other ways and things like that. What would you wish is, I don't know, ported over to your platform of choice? So for me, I'm talking about this before the pod went live. It's easy for me to go Pokemon on this. Sure, I'd love to play Pokemon on my Xbox. That'd be cool. But that ain't what we're going with today. Today, my answer is fucking Genshin Impact, man. Like, it pisses me off so bad that this game is not on Xbox. It's not even funny. Like, why not? Why? So here's the thing that blows me away. I never thought Nintendo would be okay with that game getting ported onto their shit when Breath of the Wild still exists, because it's so clearly a rip off of Breath of the Wild. But they went ahead and got a port made for Nintendo, but not for Xbox. Like, why? I have not read one single reason as to why this is a thing. Pisses me off, bro, and I don't understand. And I know.
I think it's for everything, right? It's for PS.
Everything except Xbox.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, I can sit here. You can play it on your laptop. But I shouldn't have to do that shit, man. It's annoying. Oh, you can play it on your tablet. I've done that a couple times. It's cool, but I don't want to use a tablet. I would like to just beep, and it's on my shit. Be nice. Be really nice. But whatever. Yeah, instead of, oh, damn, I want to play Genshin Impact. Oh, let me get this up here. Oh, let me get my HDMI cord. Oh, let me get my other thing to transmit from my... I don't want to do all that, man. Like, just come on, man. It's been...
It seems like you want to play the game a lot, though, you know?
Yeah, because I know that if it was on Xbox, I'd probably play it damn near every day if I could. Because it's one of those games that can get you pretty, pulled in really quickly. Especially with, like, the loot boxes and all that stuff. Like, you get into that. But alas, the options I have to place that game currently, I don't like or have access to. Maybe once I get the PS5, I won't care anymore. But right now, I care. All right, and it's annoying and it's stupid. And
So
that's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say. That's it. Stupid.
Okay, Stephen A.
You're a bona fide scrub. No, it's
I have been led astray. Why is it not on every console? Why not? I just don't understand. I just don't understand.
And that's all I got to say about that. All right, Vinny, what you got, man?
all right. So my pick. I wouldn't say it's a surprise to y'all probably like would think that I would say something like this, but I feel like if they put Super Smash on like every platform, for the simple
I
reason
was not going there.
I feel like it's a good party fighting game, but the problem is we don't like playing on our switches because party chat is not there, and like I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of like the Joy Cons itself. But like, if you just bring it to every other platform, not only will you have like, I'm sure they can probably do like crossplay if that were the case. But like, you would have crossplay with all different consoles, and you would have what is it called? More of a variety of characters to choose from. So instead of like going based off like Nintendo characters and stuff like that, even though like what is it called? They went with like Cloud and Sephiroth and all that, some from like Final Fantasy, but maybe add like Master Chief into the mix, or I don't know, some other like Xbox exclusive characters in the mix, and just like add a bigger library of fighters to choose from. So,
It
like me
sounds
personally,
like you're talking about multiverses.
it's true. Well, I mean, but multiverse is like only to like one WB.
Yeah, it's WB characters, but I feel like it's gonna be one of those situations where it will expand a little
Yeah,
bit.
I think so too. After a while, if it catches fire, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I'm kind of more excited for multiverses than like Smash. Even though I think Smash has better mechanics, I think I just care more about the characters that like it's cool. Like I'm more excited to play with Shaggy or as Shaggy and like Batman than I would be to play as Mario or Samus, or even though they're like
Yeah.
classic, but like I feel like there's more you can do there. So as long as the gameplay is up to par, like in the same level as Smash, I think Multiverses is really gonna hit.
Oh yeah, I think multiverse is gonna definitely be smash hit. But
No, I see
like
what
if
you did there.
if that wasn't the case, I'm saying that I would say like Smash on all platforms would definitely be a big hit because like it's not it on Switch in my opinion, especially with them trash servers.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the problem is, like now you're more getting into like you wish a different company made it because Nintendo's
Oh
still
no
gonna
no
give
no
you trash servers. You know what I mean?
no!
So
Microsoft will probably be like, "Hey Nintendo, yo, you know what I'm saying? I see you struggling, my boy."
they probably already did that. Nintendo was like, "Nah, we good. Get out of here."
Yeah, they hung up the phone, bro. They was like, we
They
don't
probably
need you.
laughed at us. No, it's not.
They
We
probably
don't
did,
need
even though
you.
they need it. They need it bad.
No, we
Hell,
don't. No, we don't. We don't need no game chat. We got it.
I ain't even talking about the game chat. I'm just talking about just use Microsoft's Azure servers or even Amazon. Like, what are they using? Why is it so
I'm
basura?
telling you, it's a squirrel in a room somewhere with like a tinfoil hat, just plugging out plugs and plugging them into other ones.
No, I don't know if
I'm
you have
telling
seen
you,
that
bro.
meme where it was like there's just like this random dude in the server room, just like has hands on his hip. It's like, what am I doing here? So it's probably like that's what's happening over there.
Like it's just a door with vacancy. Now hiring. Ain't
Oh.
nobody in there doing shit. It's just
My
My
boy
guy's just in
is
the server farm, wires everywhere, looking around like, what the
just
hell
chilling, bro.
is this?
Man's walked in and walked right the fuck out. I quit.
Sir, it's your first day. I know.
listen, hand my last.
Sure is. I'm out. Because that's
First
some
and
bullshit.
last.
Nope.
Oh shit. All right. Well, for my take, I'm gonna. I'm debating between two games here, guys. They're both PC games. I think there's a good chance that we may get at least one of them on Xbox at some point in time or on console in general. But I'm gonna say we talked about this one before we started recording. So Escape from Tarkov is probably one of the first games that I would love to see come from PC over to the consoles in general. Like, doesn't even have to be just Xbox, right? Give it crossplay, give it all that fun stuff, because it's a different enough take on the the FPS like survival shooter type of thing that I think it'd be really cool. Like, it's not really battle royale, but it's like I guess adjacent. I've been watching people play it on Twitch. I have a PC and I actually have like the hardware to be able to pull off that game. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. Mainly because I don't know, I just don't like, for as much as I love my PC and like I love doing all different types of stuff on PC, like I am not a huge fan of PC gaming. I don't like the inconveniences that it involves, so I'd rather just play on console. It's just way more convenient for me. But that would be game one. Game two would have to be Valorant. I also suck playing mouse and keyboard, so that probably also adds to why I never play on PC. And that game is only mouse and keyboard right now. I don't think they have controller support mini. Do you know if they've added that yet? Okay.
I thought that was already coming to
surprising.
console, though, no? They already announced that. Valorant?
They never announced Valorant on console.
Hold up, bro. I'm not bugging. I swear to God, I saw that somewhere. Hold up.
You probably saw like the Riot
rumored-
Games thing on.
Yeah. Riot Games showed up at the Xbox press conference because they announced that they're partnering with them for Game Pass stuff, but there's no console version coming.
Gotcha. Okay.
A lot of people think that because of that partnership, there might be a console version coming for Valorant and maybe League, but we'll see. But yeah, that would be a great game. I'd love to play on Xbox solely for the fact that I would be able to play with a controller. That one I'd be okay with, there being crossplay on. I feel like with that game in particular, it might be a marginal difference between like mouse and keyboard gamers. I know people love to say like mouse and keyboard, gaming is like superior and it's all that other stuff. But my experience, like I think like between Halo and Gears of War, like all those games that have been crossplay, anytime I go up against a PC gamer, I'm like, all right, y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit.
Yeah,
So-
like me personally, like it depends on the game. Like if I'm playing, like you said, Halo or Gears of War, I'd rather pick up a controller than what is it called, a mouse and keyboard for those games. But like, yeah, like it depends on the game it is, because like I'd rather play like Siege on a PC or like Valorant, just because of mouse and keyboard. Because I feel like those games do need that precision aiming, since like it's like one shot, one kill pretty much. But
I think the thing in my mind I would expect is that anything that's solely just relies on like precision aiming, which I would assume, Valorant falls into that category because it's very much like CS:GO or just Counter-Strike in general. You would want to worry more about precision aiming there, but like anything that adds a layer of like maneuverability, like I guess Fortnite, Call of Duty, like that type of stuff where you have to maneuver, like Halo, Gears. I'd rather definitely play it on a gamepad, like a controller, and I think it would be better on a controller. Like I know a lot of people who play Rocket League, for example, and they, even though they play mouse and keyboard, but literally everything else, they will pick up a controller and plug it into their PC just to play Rocket League because it's easier to maneuver all of those things with a controller. So I guess there's some trade-offs between the two, but I'm like a controller guy until I die. Like I just can't do the mouse and keyboard thing. Like I tried it. So initially I built a PC specifically to play PUBG before it was announced for Xbox or anything. And I was like good enough. I could get by, but like I wasn't. It was like a whole different ballgame when it came to Xbox, and like I could actually run around. And I mean that game's buggy as shit, but still, like maneuver around a little bit easier. It's just a completely different ballgame. So. All right, but yeah, those are my two. I'm definitely hoping Valorant comes though. I think that's more than likely going to happen sooner rather than later. Tarkov, that can go one way or another. I really think Tarkov might die off if this rumored Call of Duty mode is real, that DMZ mode that's supposed to like bite off of it, like literally, exactly. I think that might kill the game, but we'll see. All right, well. Chris, again, thank you for the icebreaker. Let's get into our main stories. Really only got two. We got some news from Nintendo and we got some news from EA about a game that people have really, really, really been excited to see. So we're gonna start off with the Nintendo news first. And Chris, you were the one who kind of brought this to our attention because honestly, for whatever reason, this kind of slid through the cracks. Even though I think it's very interesting, like once you
Yeah.
brought it up. So Nintendo has acquired an animation company, a CG production company named Dynamo Pictures, and they're planning on renaming it Nintendo Pictures. And basically, they're saying that this new subsidiary will focus on development of visual content utilizing Nintendo IP. So the interesting thing about this studio is they've got a lot of stuff like under their belt. A lot of older animation movies, and then also they've done some motion capture work on Death Stranding, Persona 5, and also they've worked with Nintendo in the past on Metroid Other M. So it kind of seems like this is a play for them to to make bigger movies. And we know that they're already planning on making this Super Mario's Brothers movie with Chris Pratt that's supposed to be coming out next year or the end of this year. I don't remember which, but coming out at some point soon. So like I would have to imagine that maybe the Nintendo's they like what they're seeing with this. Maybe they don't like what they're seeing with the Super Mario movie. Maybe they don't like the hoops that they have to go through, working with another studio. Maybe they want to keep everything internally. So they decided let's go ahead and buy a studio. Maybe this stuff might help them with motion capture stuff as well. Although I can't imagine them doing too much. I don't know. Is there a lot of motion capture in most of Nintendo's projects? Would you think? Not really, right? Like, so
I wouldn't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows at this point? But I definitely my money is on them actually making movies and TV shows, right? Because that's where the money is. Yeah. What do you guys think, Chris? I mean, like I said, you brought it to our attention, so I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this.
Well, like I told you guys in the chat, to me, this is the most exciting Nintendo news in quite some time. And it's terrible to say because it should involve video games, but I'll take what I can get. I honestly think it got huge potential. I think if they did this right, or if they do it the right way, they've got a lot of IPs that I'll be honest, I don't care about in terms of gaming. I just don't. Fire Emblem, all these different things that they have. Meh, I'm not buying that game. I'm not spending like $50-$60 to play it. I'll put it that way, right? But a game like Fire Emblem, there's a story there, right? And it's just never translated right, good or well through Nintendo's means. But in a cartoon form, or in a CGI movie form, or something like that, now we can have a different conversation. I feel like with this stuff that they got on their plate, it's like, dude, they technically, I think, could have enough here, content-wise, with all their IPs, to almost be able to start a channel, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Almost like a Cartoon Network type of thing, or a Disney Channel, or whatever type of deal. Something where you have all these different TV shows, most of them clearly kind of, I guess, would appease to children or whatever, but you have so many of them, and you could literally just keep running show after show after show. We're talking Mario. We're talking Kirby. We're talking Metroid. We're talking. I'm sure they'll do some deals with Pokemon because how could you not? Pokemon will probably be like, "We're not going to give you everything because we're Pokemon, but we'll give you a couple things to put out there." They could do a lot of things with this, man, and they would get me invested in a lot of IPs I truly do not care about. Again, I do wish it was investment via video games, but I mean, there's nobody I know that wouldn't watch a Zelda show. Like, who's not watching that, bro? Are you whack? Is that what you are? Is that what you're telling me right now? You're just whack? Because like I don't know who's not watching that, man. Especially if it's like CGI and it's done very well and they actually take the story seriously. Look how much lore Zelda has. Think about it, man. Like for real. How many sequels? How many different iterations? How many different stories with Princess Zelda and Link? How many different things, big bad evil things came out of nowhere trying to take over everything? I don't know why they keep capturing Zelda, but that's a whole nother story. Imagine if they really took that and ran with it, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know. I just think that they really have a chance here to do something cool. as hell, and I hope they succeed with it. That's the most I can say. I don't see any negatives coming out of this unless they really just half-ass it and go the cheap route and decide to not spend a lot of money to make their assets look good and things like that. If they go that route, then maybe this is gonna all blow up. But if they take this seriously, yeah, this shit could be dope. I think it could be real dope.
So you're saying that you think they can have like their own streaming service too?
I wasn't gonna go that far yet because I need to see like if they have to show me the content first and how they're gonna do it, and if they have enough of it, then maybe that's a conversation that can be had. But right now, I don't really want to put that on them yet, just because a TV channel is one thing, but I think a streaming service needs a little bit more extra attention because it's like a constant live thing going at all times type of thing. I guess a TV channel is too, but
yeah, I think in 2022, it's more likely that you'll get a streaming service than a TV channel. People aren't. That's just not where the money is anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think either one of those things would come to fruition in the near term. I think it'd be more likely that they start partnering up with like Netflix. I mean, Netflix is already partnering with a ton of other gaming studios in particular. In relation to making video games and actually making video game related TV shows, like the new Resident Evil show just came out this week on Netflix. There's already rumors that a Horizon TV show is going to be coming out on Netflix. And so I think it's more likely that might happen first. I really couldn't see where else Nintendo would go. Yeah, I really couldn't see where else Nintendo would go. So yeah, I'm thinking that stuff will probably we'll start seeing some of that stuff on Netflix. In addition to like if they actually make full-fledged movies like they're doing with the Super Mario show or movie. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know, Manny. What do you think about this whole thing though? Are you excited to see some Princess Zelda on the big screen?
All I gotta say is this is just helping my theory of a Super Smash movie. We already got two of them, Detective Pikachu and Sonic. Like I'm telling you, either that or when the Mario movie comes out, do some little crossover and have Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I'm telling you, that's money right there. That's money. But it would be like crazy if they were to implement like all these characters into like a Smash universe. Like just like you got Pikachu, Mario's next. If you make a movie for Samus and what is it called, Zelda, so you can have Link and all that kind of stuff, and then just link them all to like one universe somehow. I mean, I'm telling you, I know a lot of kids would love to see that. I know a lot of old heads like us would probably love to see that too, because I mean, who wouldn't want to see a Super Smash movie if that's the case, Be like a whole Avengers going on where like you just bring all the big characters into one screen and you're just like, oh my god.
It's wild, bro. If I think about that, like it just sounds so dumb on paper, like, or not dumb but bad on paper, right?
Yeah.
But it would work, like I
I'm
bet
sure
you
it would sell.
yeah, but like I bet you before Super Smash Brothers was actually a thing, if you like pitch that in a room, before the idea of all these crossovers and this, that, and the other, and yeah, like it's like, so you're telling me Super Mario and Luigi are gonna be fighting like Captain Falcon? That sounds dumb. Pikachu's gonna be fighting Princess Peach? That sounds dumb. But I don't know. I mean, obviously it worked, right? It was a huge success. It's a huge success. I don't know.
They would have to get that story like right though, because this is one of those things where it's like it translates in video game form, but if the story isn't done correctly, it's gonna just come off like a random video game tournament that somebody just made up out of thin air. So they would have to have a reason for all these people to exist together.
I'll probably be like something like, "Oh, Mario got to save Peach again."
It'll be like, it has to be like like I don't know if you guys follow like the comic books closely, but like Secret Wars in Marvel. It's like, all right, like somebody brought all the superheroes to this one planet, the battleground planet, and they all had to fight. Like in that story, I mean, it's still comic booky, but like it made sense, Like they need to do some version of that with Smash. Like there needs to be a reason why they were all brought together for like they have to fight, otherwise they can't get out. And like, you know, if they don't fight, maybe the universes that they come from get destroyed. Da 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 da. Like there has to be like a central villain like causing all of this to happen.
Yo, are we doing the tournament of power in Smash? Is that what we're doing?
Basically.
Oh shit! Holy crap! This sounds like Dragon Ball Z, but with Smash. Oh shit! Son.
Go see Ultra Instinct Mario.
Oh.
But it's there, right? The framework is there, you know, like because like you said, Dragon Ball Z's done it, Marvel's done it, you know, like that. The framework is there. So
how did that happen in Dragon Ball Z again? I think what was it? Like Goku did some stupid shit and was like, "Hey, we should all just fight for our universes," and they was like, "Word."
Goku was much stressed.
No, dead ass. That's what he because they got this one character who was like the king of everything. Like he's the most strongest dude ever. He created the universe, he created everything, and he somehow befriends Goku, and Goku's dumb. So Goku's like, I like to fight, bring everybody, and let's have a tournament. And he was like, yeah, but if you lose, I'm going to destroy your universe. Let's do it. And then, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
So smart.
Insane.
So
Insane.
Smart. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. That'd be cool. That would be cool. Mm-hmm.
So basically what we're all coming to an agreement on is that the end game of this Nintendo's Pictures thing is a Super Smash Brothers movie.
If it isn't, then they're doing something wrong. That's all I gotta say.
You know, I would even be here for a Splatoon cartoon. I would watch that if it was dope, but I'm not playing the game. I have no desire to play Splatoon ever.
Honestly,
I think Splatoon is the perfect example of something that really wouldn't apply or I guess appeal to certain people as a video game, but has like mass appeal as a TV show or a movie.
Oh yeah, it reminds me of Kids Next Door almost, you know.
Yeah. I think that could be really cool. I feel like there's also this balance that they could. Well, I think the Splatoon thing would be just solely a kids game or kids show ish thing, but I think there's a balance that they could strike where not all of these things have to just be for kids, right? Like you can pull off the like Shrek. Shrek is like the best example I could think of, right? Shrek is like made for kids, but also very much made for adults too. Like there's just a lot of jokes that will go over kids' heads that kids have no idea what the hell is going on. So like I think they could like Shrekify like some of these TV shows and movies to make it so that it's not just about kids. Like it can also be about adults too. So I would love to see it. Well, we'll something to keep our eye on. You know, we always like to talk about all the cross media stuff that's going on in the gaming industry. But we're gonna jump over to the next topic here. There's no good segue for this. I try to think of it. There really is no good segue for this. But you know, a game that a lot of gamers have really been looking forward to. You know, since it's been announced, they were claiming for it before it even got announced, which is why EA went ahead and did it. It's Skate, and apparently we're getting some pretty cool news this week that Skate is going to be a free-to-play game. Now, this kind of inadvertently ties into a topic we talked about, you know, a couple weeks ago around sports games going free. And I know this isn't exactly like a traditional sports game in the way that we were talking about, like a Madden or a 2K, but it does still fall under a sports game. So Skate finally being free to play. It's probably one of the first, outside of that PES game that we talked about before, that's actually garbage. This is probably one of the first free-to-play sports games that we've seen, and it is definitely coming right out of EA. Like I think I predicted. I think we all kind of agreed about it too. But interesting to see that it's happening. They're basically going to try to like Fortnite-ify Skate and, you know, sell you the microtransactions and probably different ways to customize your board, probably emotes, all that different shit, which I'm okay with. But yeah, I'm really curious about this shit, man. They said that they're really working on developing this game out in the open, as out in the open as they possibly can be. There's an alpha that you can sign up for, an insider program you can sign up for to be able to play test the game. I'm really curious about this, man. Manny, I'm gonna start with you on this, man. What's your take on all this stuff? What do you expect to see from a free to play Skate game?
Yeah, I mean, I see like this being a platform that's going to be built upon years. You know, upon release, as they said in the article. I hope it's, you know, something that is supported for a long run. And, you know, I mean, I've seen a little gameplay snippets from like TikToks from people like posting it, even though they're probably not supposed to. And like, I like how much the game looks. It looks and probably will feel like, traditional skate games with this, like, tricks and like goofiness that you can do sometimes with, like, the Hall of Meat and bail out your board and stuff like that, which is, what we love about skate. So I'm definitely excited that this is happening, especially to a very popular franchise as a sports game. And hopefully this trend itself will, open the eyes of other developers and have them maybe want to take upon this trend and have their own iterations with other sports games, like hopefully, since EA is the first to do it, like hopefully with Madden or FIFA, especially since the FIFA license is no longer and they're doing EAFC. So, and that might be a good opportunity too to rebrand that franchise itself. And uh, like I said, like it's such a big deal with a big game like this.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I mean the fact that it's literally exactly what we have talked about before, right? Like it's free to
Mm-hmm.
play, it has crossplay, it has cross progression. Like it's kind of one of the first to do all those things. Like FIFA just started their little crossplay thing, and it seems like it may be something that they'll iterate in the next game. But like this is really cool to see. I mean, again, the game is what they're calling pre alpha, like very early on. But I don't know. It's still just dope. It's dope to see. I don't know if they've announced like skaters that are going to be attached to this game or anything like that, but I would imagine that those would be skins that is another way for EA to
Yeah.
make some money
Mm-hmm.
on. Like I'm curious how far they're gonna go with this, right? Like, are we gonna get I don't know, like celebrities? Like, are we gonna get like a Captain America skin in there or something like that, like we get in Fortnite? You know, like how far are they going to go? Like,
I'll go
you
get a
know,
little Winskin because I know he likes to skateboard.
maybe like I know we'll definitely get the realism as far
Shit.
as the gameplay goes, but like how wacky are they gonna go on the microtransaction stuff? Like it seems like with a game like this, it's kind of endless the possibilities that you can go through, right? Like clothing, like actual skins of people. The music is always a big thing in skateboarding games. So like I'm very very excited about this game already. But the free to play aspect of it is just like a no brainer. Like who's not going to download this now and check it out?
Yeah.
So Chris, what are you thinking about this, man? Get your take.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, man. I've been waiting for a good skateboard game to come back for a while. Back in the day, I used to really like the skateboard games and the BMX ones, like the Matt Hoffman shit. Both of those used to always kind of do it for me. Um, but yeah, I am hoping that it's a big open world. I want it to feel like I log in and I kind of just can go do what I want to do, and I can explore a bunch of different places and I can meet with people. Like I feel like with it being a skate game, it should feel as though the online community or the online social space or whatever should feel very alive. And then on top of that, and this is something I don't understand that why they don't do with all these live service games. All of them should have like a ranking system and a leaderboard. I never understand why that's never already attached to these games prior to coming out. Um, because so many people always ask for it. They ask for it in COD, they ask for it in all the racing games, they ask for it in everything. So I'm like, why you guys always never do that? I think they should have that implemented from like day one. Don't make people wait for it. Put the damn ranking system in it. Um, and then I guess for a personal level, I just want to see them use some really cool camera angles to get cool shots. I hope that it feels evolved from the last few skating games that we used to get. Because to me, that's the last thing that the games were missing. They had the music portions down, doing the tricks and all that stuff, and most of the games felt very smooth. I just wish the camera angles were just a little bit better to like, how do I put it? When you watch the Olympics and they're doing their thing and then they're trying to go over the replays and they're able to zoom in and they're able to like really take a good look from crazy angles and see how exactly you were doing it, your footwork, all that stuff. If these games somehow are able to implement something like that, man, I think they're gonna be A1 as fuck. Like, there's no way how you don't hit if you get those banging ass camera angles in there. Because I think they're gonna knock it out with the whole the aesthetic stuff in the game, like all the vanity options. You're gonna have a lot of clothing options. People in real life love to customize their boards, down to the wheels that they're using, all that shit, stickers and all that mess. It's gonna be a lot of that in the game. Um, I think this is another opportunity for them to also kind of do some things like how they do in Fortnite, man. Like how you guys always talk about how Fortnite does a lot of uh I don't know what you want to call them, like media events or whatever, whether somehow have a random artist just pop up out of nowhere and do like an event. That's cool for me to like log on, get on my skateboard and skate down the block. And there's like a live event going down the street where everybody else just showed up and pulled up on their skateboards. And there's like a festival in video game form. That's cool, man. Because that adds a whole nother level to these skate games that we've never had in the past, which I would very much enjoy. And I think is necessary if it's going to be free to play. You got to give us something to want to play for. You know, doing the tricks and all that shit is cool, but there has to be a bigger pull for me at least than just doing a bunch of tricks and shit. Like I need a little bit more than that nowadays in 2022. So
like quests and stuff like that. Like
like I need to be able to do things. Like don't. It can't just be just a skate game because that's gonna get boring after a while, man. It's gonna after a month or two, I'm not gonna play it no more.
Yeah,
Give me actual objectives.
Yeah, it sounds like what you're looking for is like what they do in Fortnite with the battle pass, right? Like there's a battle pass, and then you have like quests that you go to this location and do this thing, and you get X amount of XP, and that XP will then progress you forward in the battle pass to get whatever it is that you might want, whatever the carrot is, whatever they determine the carrot is, like skin, a board, something like that.
Yeah, all that, man. But even then, like, I think it also would be cool if they had certain areas in the world, right, where there's a challenge that to be done, but it's like dumb hard to do. So people literally train to be able to try to do this. So, for example, I guess there's a ramp, and we're trying to see who can get the most air off of this shit out of everybody who's played the game. And you got to literally get the right wheels. You got to catch the right wind. You got to be going at the right angle. You got to be going at the right speed. And people are fighting to actually get the bragging rights to do that every single day. They got to put stuff like that in the game. They just can't go half-assed, man.
I'd be curious if they did, though, because a lot of the time nowadays, like, the community kind of does that work for the developer. Like, the advent of social media and all that stuff, like, a lot of those things happen organically now. It's like, oh, this person did this crazy-ass trick that, like, the developer didn't even think, was possible, like, because you make the sandbox so wide open, and it's like, okay, like now this person did that, like they posted it on social media, that's their bragging rights, whatever, what have you, and then the next person goes and does the next thing. Like that's more of a community thing, I think. But I would be curious if they found a way to implement that, because I feel like sometimes when companies try to build that stuff into a game, it doesn't feel right because it's not organic. I would hope that they figure out the right way to do that.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from. I think there's a way to do both, but I don't know. There's just something about, like, if I was playing a game like this and I knew there was an area where, say, like, there's a ramp and the ramp leads to, like, over a ravine and, like, you got to try to make it to the other side of the ravine and it's dumb hard to do it. I like things like that, So I'm like, I really hope they do things like that in the game, or, like, make me have to jump over something that's dumb hard to jump over, or I don't know, man. There's got to be a bunch of different things they can come up with, but I get where you're coming from.
I think there is. I think when you have things like that are more structured, I think people do it, right? Like, obviously they'll go out of their way to do it. I think it just gets to a point where people, like, outside of just the imagination of the developers being lower than the imagination of the player, it's also like a matter of, if you do those things, which I'm not saying that they shouldn't do them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, let me be very clear about that. Like, I think it's dope to have those types of challenges that, like, the community can rally around and, like, go do. I just feel like there's also the organic nature of, like, something that the developer just absolutely did not have their mind on, and, like, people just go flock to it. And I think sometimes some developers do a good job of, like, retroactively adding a challenge in for that, or adding an achievement in for that. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious to see how the community handles it. Because, like, for example, Battlefield, right? Like, I forgot the name of the maneuver, but the one where people, like, jump out of their jet and, like, blow another jet up with the RPG and then jump back in the jet. Like, that's like a thing. That was a thing in Battlefield 3 or 4. And, like, it was like this thing that, like, everybody in the community saw online and wanted to do. And after the fact, in Battlefield 2042, like, they added that as like a nod in the trailer, like, but it wasn't something that the developer had even thought of when it initially had come out. But because somebody in the community did it, like it became part of the culture of the game. So I'm curious like about those type of moments and how they happen more organically in Skate, because it'd be really cool. And you know, another thing that you mentioned was like the live events similar to what they do in Fortnite. That has to happen. You know, like that they need to make sure that happens, because that's just that would just be too cool. I don't think they explicitly talked about whether it's going to be in like an open world with other people. I would have to assume that that's going to happen. Right?
Yeah, like, cause how else would you do it if it's free to play?
Well, I mean, free to play could just mean the game is free. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a
I guess.
MMO type of thing. It's just free to play just means it's a free game. That's all. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it makes the most sense for you to be in a world with other skaters and like, you know, go to a skate park and see you like, I don't know, Lil Wayne or Travis Scott playing like on a screen somewhere, or like in a virtual version of themselves. Like it seems like that's kind of the world we're heading towards with this whole metaverse concept anyway. So Skate would just be another metaverse in that of itself, even though it's really just a buzzword that we've already been doing for a while. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to see something like that. Like, first, you know, you did mention with Fortnite, you know, they did like live concerts and they were set up in a certain way. But like the other day, I saw that they were doing something called Rocket League Live, and it was literally just like this arena that they set up where you can go around just killing each other. Like it's just kind of like this endless team deathmatch, but like in the background is like a competitive Rocket League tournament happening, and it's just cool. Like it's kind of mindless in a way because there's no goal in sight when you're playing that mode, but you're watching the Rocket League thing while you're actively playing, you know, Fortnite. Like it was just different, and you can see how they would use that going forward. You know, like with let's say the Game Awards decided to do something similar. You know, like you're in this arena fighting, playing around, whatever, but you still have the Game Awards going on in the background, so you're still like, you know, engaged in what's happening there. Also an amazing opportunity for advertisers too, right? Like while, you know, whenever the show goes on break, or even the way the Game Awards is structured, there's like a ton of ads within the show, right? They would love to get their hands on this type of world, this type of environment where people are actively gaming, but also watching your content. Like that's like a pipe dream for advertisers, because they can sell you just about anything in that world. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of potential with this skate game, man, and it's really cool. And I hope it expands further with you know, the free to play model and showing EA that like, hey, we could do this with Madden, we could do this with FIFA. You know, like let's give the people what they fucking want. You know. But one other thing I did want to talk about a little bit, and I think this could be pretty cool for this game. Just reading it directly off of an article from The Verge. So one of the features the developers were really excited about was something that they called collabo zones, basically collaboration zones. And they're areas where you can collaboratively build with players and appear in other people's worlds. It's kind of like building a skate park, right? Like I think they used to do that in the old skate games. I know they definitely did it in the Tony Hawk games. So like doing that on like a grander scale and putting it into the world. Like, let's say maybe there's a featured park, I don't know, every week or something like that. Like somebody does something really cool. That would go again into that whole community aspect that I was talking about with, you know, with what you said, Chris. It's just like, let's say instead of the developer building that jump, like the players are actually building some crazy jump to get over like a fucking building or a ravine or something absolutely insane. Like to have that cycle through week to week, I would love to see how that would look. So, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like Portal almost from Battlefield in a sense.
Exactly.
But like,
exactly. Yeah.
Hopefully they do it good.
I saw this article. This is like a bit of a tangent, but I saw this article that was talking about how how EA obviously blamed Halo for its bad start, and then like later in the article they said, oh, how the tables have turned. I'm like, what tables have turned? Like Halo's slowed down and all that. Like, you know, obviously like some people argue it's a dying game, whatever, but what has changed about Battlefield? Like Battlefield came out with their season 1, and you know, honestly, I played it. It's cool, like, but still there are problems, you know? Like I don't understand.
I don't hear nobody talk about Battlefield right now. Not one person.
Yeah. The other thing too is like, I just feel like comparatively, so Halo, obviously when it launched, it was people loved it, whatever, what have you, and now it just doesn't have the content. Battlefield, it launched, people didn't like it, it didn't have the content. Now the content's here, people still aren't really that excited for it. Like if you're comparing, all that really needs to happen is Halo needs to have content, and then people will just flood back to the game. Like it's not that. I just found that to be very odd. Again, has nothing to do
Battlefield
with
felt like it lied. It felt like they lied to folks, man, because all that hype. You know what I mean? It felt like I got bamboozled. And I think that's what really hurt them the most. And people just are soured and don't want to go back. Because I think once you get people to that level, whatever you do come with next has to be so fire that like they're able to get over the scorned feeling that they had from before. Because that's me right now, man. I feel like all the hype that they put into that game, Doug, we were sitting here calling it the potential COD killer. Like, come on. like come on, bro.
Yeah, but
like,
that term's
the
been
ball,
thrown around
bro.
a lot. I don't put as much stock into that.
It felt real this time, bro. It felt real. They showed us the trailer. Everybody lost their shit. We were out here like, bro, I think this might be the one, maybe, and not even close.
There are
Not
older
even close.
Battlefields that were literally better than the CODs in that year that it came out. So like, I don't know. I also don't think it's as doom and gloom as a lot of people are saying. Like I still think the game has potential to do something. It's just like I think that EA is going to cut and run, and that's where it's just going to be like, all right, this is basically going to be like the Call of Duty Ghost of the Battlefield franchise, right? Like it's going to be that one game that was just an absolute shit show. Like even the other Battlefield 1, I didn't like that game, but like it was still a solid game, you know, like it wasn't broken. This one is just buggy, broken, and like rushed is probably not the right word exactly, but I don't know. It definitely left people wanting more. Yeah, but that's a different topic for a different time. I know it's adjacent to EA and skate and all that stuff, but yeah, I think this is a good place to cut it. You know, we've already been going for a while on two topics, really. Funny enough, but sometimes that's how it goes in the summer. There's really not as much to talk about, especially in the summer without E3 and all that shit. So we'll come at you guys next week with some more content. Hopefully, we'll get some more exciting announcements and whatnot. You guys want to say anything else before we go?
I ain't got shit. Oh wait, hold on. I want to try what you did earlier. You did say it like this. No, wait, you went. That's what you did, right?
Oh, he's talking about
the whoa.
Whoa.
Okay, all right. I'm really goofing now, people. Really goofing.
God. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching and listening. Make sure to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. We will check you guys out next week. Peace.
Oh, yeah.